Hits 96.
Hits 96, Chattanooga's #1 hit music station. Gino D here with you, and I have the pleasure of sitting down with a very special guest today in our podcast studio, Juna N Joey. Welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Excited to be here.
Is this your first time in Chattanooga, or have you been through before?
We've definitely been through here before.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we have. Yeah.
We've
I mean, we've been all over the place.
Right, right.
Um,
This is always known as, and I say this in every interview, so I'm sure Lindsay will roll her eyes, but we say this every time, it's kind of a passerby city, because between Atlanta and Nashville, people kind of just pass by. Maybe stop, get some food or something, but then they go by, and we're trying to turn that into a stopper by. So we appreciate you stopping by and saying hello to us. I'm super excited to talk with you. So you guys are a country pop duo, from what I've read, brother-sister duo, which is pretty cool. Let's talk from the very beginning. Let's just start off from the beginning. How did this kind of come about? When did you start having this idea that we're going to team up, we're going to sing together, and we're going to go out on the road and do this? Talk about the beginning.
So I started singing at the age of like 3 or 4. I was obsessed with the movie The Little Rascals. So I learned the song Love, L-O-V-E, by Frank Sinatra from the movie. And I performed it for our dad, and then he was like, oh, I got to get you into lessons. So then I started singing and playing piano, and then
I was a big sports guy.
Sure.
You know, all my life thought I was going to be, the next
MLB star.
MLB star.
Okay.
And then I eventually went to one of her lessons because she had been doing lessons for a long time. And I was sitting on kind of like something like this, and she was next to the piano. And the teacher was like, so who are you? And I was like, I'm Joey, I'm her brother. She's like, so do you sing? And I was like, nah, I just sing in the shower, a couple Taylor Swifts, here and there. But then I went to the piano, and she was like, all right, hum for me real quick. And I started humming. She's like, you know what? I think you have something. Wow. And I was like, really? I was like, thank you so much. Oh, my God. And so then, then we started, singing together. We actually joined School of Rock, and we were learning a bunch of instruments, playing bass, guitar, all sorts of things, playing rock music. And then eventually we did that for a couple years, and then split off and, had our own band and was doing our thing. And
like a local rock band. We were like 10.
Sure.
13.
Okay.
And eventually we split off from that and started doing the duo thing, and we've been doing it for a long time now, and it's been so much fun.
Yeah, I think when we started doing just the duo, me and Joey, is when we started writing music.
Yeah.
And then when we started writing country music, just came out naturally. Like storytelling is just what was inside of us, waiting to come out when we were writing. So that's kind of how we got into country music.
Because you guys are originally from Florida, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken. Yeah, so I'm sure there are country roots there, but it's just kind of an interesting mix there. Let's talk about your creative process a little bit. Doing the songwriting. I know you've worked with numerous songwriters before, when it comes to Nashville, of course, and New York City, and Los Angeles. But between the two of you, what's that collaborative process like when it comes to the creative side of things?
It just depends. Sometimes Juna comes up with the lyrics. Sometimes I come up with the lyrics. We both actually go to Berkeley, so we're both taking songwriting, and I'm actually taking a class from Steve Vai at the moment for electric guitar.
Yeah.
So we're learning from the best people out there in Boston, and
Very grateful.
Songwriting is so fun, just to get together with a bunch of friends and just think of new ideas.
Sure.
Yeah, we both have this thing called a hookbook where we'll be just out and about wherever, and if we hear an interesting title, if someone says a cool phrase you never heard before, our manager has a lot of stories. So
our parents and our manager, they come up with
we
a lot of
get
phrases.
inspiration from that, and we write it down in our hookbook, and then we'll sit down and be like, do we need a fast song? Do we need some more slow songs? Do we need some rock and dance songs? It just depends, whatever we're needing at the moment.
Yeah.
And then we just kind of go from there, wherever the song takes us.
So is that kind of how it usually works? Is it maybe lyrics first before maybe a melody or something? Or?
Usually I'll pick up the guitar and get a melody going. The melody's kind of easier, I feel like, and then the lyrics. It just depends, though. It all depends.
Yeah.
I've talked to other artists before. I think M. Byhold comes to mind, and she said things would just pop into her as she's in the shower. She'll have a phrase or something, and then she just goes there, use her voice notes, and then it just blossoms. So it's always interesting to learn different artists and how they kind of approach the songwriting process.
Sure.
Social media has been big for you guys. I know posting on YouTube and Tik Tok covers were kind of how you gained your popularity. What is your viewpoint on social media nowadays? I know, it's so many different things. It's so positive. It can be so amazing, and then at the same time, I get it. So talk about social media a little bit and how important it is to you guys.
It is very important to us. It's, like you said, that's how we got our start on YouTube. We were gaining 200 plus subscribers a day just from posting our videos. We would record the song and then make videos in our home. We would get a little kind of a little podcast vibe going, and then we would film.
Right.
And then once TikTok kind of blew up, then we started posting videos on TikTok, and then Instagram, we always just had to post on Instagram.
Yeah, it's just hard to come up with content nowadays, just to make it unique and...
It's like a full-time job.
Yeah, it is a full-time job.
It absolutely is. It's a whole other beast at this point.
It is a
and that
beast.
was my next question, is balancing between being a musician and a songwriter and taking that serious versus being an influencer. Because, right, there's so much pressure on both sides. We even feel it here at the radio station. It's like, they want us to be on the air and they want us to hit a certain standard, but at the same time, like, oh, but can you post about it?
Yeah.
So, well, I'm trying to do a radio show, or vice versa. So what is that? How do you guys make those decisions on what gets posted, what doesn't?
Yeah, it's like, can you sing, write, do all this, but then post about it,
Sure.
and then share it to 6 other platforms,
Right.
and then...
And answer all the comments.
Exactly.
And make sure that
And
you're
then fan engage,
reposting.
and then,
Oh my goodness.
all of that, yeah. But I think it's really fun to connect with our fans. Like, we did a tour in the UK for 3 months, or we did a school tour, and we have a song called Anchor about anti-bullying and mental health, and we did like a speech to a bunch of kids like all around the schools. And so we would get DMs from students all the time being like, oh, thank you so much for your song, and what you had to say today really like changed my viewpoint on a lot of things. And they just felt like connected to us through our song and our message, because we're like the same age, so they feel like connected more to it.
No.
And we had so many DMs from people, and it just felt really good to be able to
God,
be
I
like,
miss you so much, and come back to the UK.
Yeah.
Just it was just great, interacting with the kids, and
Yeah.
they're like, oh my God, I'm never gonna take this off my arm, because we were
we
signing.
would sign. They
on,
would
like,
ask us
oh, wow.
to sign like.
and
the
it was like
weirdest
life
parts.
changing for them, and it was life changing for us.
Yeah.
So that is interesting about social media, is that you can connect with people like in the UK when you're here. So
Exactly.
it's cool.
No, I definitely see the positives there. Don't get me wrong, I love it. But I do like to ask the opinions, because when you're part of that game, there is that, like I said earlier, just that pressure of what do I post, what don't I post,
Yes.
and then trying to use that as your interactive, or then using it. You don't want to post the same song over and over and over again. At the same time, yes, you do.
Yes, you do, exactly.
It's like the opposite of what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah,
you're supposed to do.
yeah.
Exactly. So very cool. I know that you've been on major platforms as well. I know that you were with NBC. There was a musical family show or something that you guys were on. What is that experience like now? Obviously, going from YouTube, now going to major platforms, performing at bigger venues. Obviously, we're growing here, which is so great to see. How's that experience been?
That was really cool.
It's been really, that was an amazing experience, to be honest. We got to meet the judges. We met a couple of friends up there, and it was just cool being in LA. And
Yeah, that was our first time over there, so that was really cool. And then we got to like the green room and like the whole big set, and we were like, whoa.
And we were on TV too. That was kind of crazy.
We were like, it's so funny because we were like, I mean, I'm gonna speak for myself. I was super nervous, like being honest, like before we went on stage. But as soon as I went on stage, I was like everything was chill, and I wasn't nervous anymore. And then we just kind of blacked out. I blacked out a little bit when I was singing. And then we watched it back, and I was like, okay, it was good. Like I didn't remember because I was so like excited. There was just so many emotions. But that was a really cool experience to be able to do that.
Yeah, we got some constructive criticism from the judges too. So it was like it was a
learning process too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just curious because it must be so different doing something in your own little podcast studio or whatever on YouTube, and it's just like, okay, I can post this and I don't, but then all of a sudden you kind of let go of that control, right? You have a little more control, and then you're letting it go, and obviously they're the professionals, so let them do what they have to do. But I can imagine that can be some type of, maybe a little bit of a struggle, or kind of just like, okay, well, I'm going to black out and I'm going to sing my song and you guys do the rest.
Yeah.
You mentioned the anti-bullying thing, which I think is fantastic. You guys seem to be very active in doing different roles, using your platform for good. I know you're ambassadors for some climate change, an organization. You host your own food drives. So was that something you guys did before the music, or why did you decide to do those campaigns and to kind of use your platform for causes?
Well, my dad owns a produce market, so we're kind of dealing with the veggies all of our life.
The veggies.
But
we do the food drive out of his business. And I think the music kind of inspired us to work with some of those organizations and push a good cause, because we noticed how much of a growing and a following we were getting. We wanted to use it for a good reason. We wanted to,
good cause.
Yeah, we wanted to help people through bullying, because that's something we experienced a lot at our schools when we were in school, or in middle school and high school. So we wanted to be the anchor for those people that don't have it, which is what our song is about. It's about having that person, which is we call the anchor, that you can go to and you can talk to and open up about things that you're going through, in school and stuff. So we wanted to be that person.
Yeah,
To people that didn't have it, like especially like in the UK, like I was
Sure.
saying, like anywhere, it doesn't matter. Like we have that platform where you can reach out to us and talk to us.
It's always
you know.
like a cause that's going on, and I don't know why it is. You know, it's not right to make fun of somebody.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
we're all here.
We're all human.
Yeah.
We're all human,
Like David
exactly.
Johnson
And it's
says.
nice to have music with a message. I think it goes
Yes.
a lot further when you can reach out to someone and actually prove a point, or when you're talking about a cause that somebody cares about, something that they can connect with and
Yes.
be related to. I think is a huge deal. So kudos to you guys for kind of knowing that already and being able to use your platform as it's growing and trying to promote yourselves and doing the TikToks and all of that, but also to find some good out of that. I think that's a fantastic thing that people enjoy seeing, and a reason that people can get behind an
Yes.
artist that's especially up and coming. So how can people are always watching this video on our social media channels, but how can they reach out to Juna and Joey?
You can find us on pretty much all streaming platforms for music, and social medias, we have all of them. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, or X. And
It's always changing.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know. It's Juna N Joey, Juna, the letter N, Joey.
Yeah, we get a lot of other mistakes like Tune and Toey and
Juan and
Wanaponi
Junie,
and
Juna and
Junie,
Joni,
Joni,
like
and just
That's
like, but like our CEO's pretty good. Like I don't know because here's the thing.
Yeah.
Her name's actually Juliana, but
Mhm.
when I was really young, I couldn't say her name, so I was like, all right, Juna, and
That
that's
kinda
that's
came
kinda
about.
where
Okay.
that came
Yeah.
about. So
Cool.
if you were wondering why her name's Juna, that's why.
There we go.
But
if
yeah.
you're wondering why my name's Juna,
Well,
I've never heard that one.
why is your
before.
name the way it is?
No, but there's a little story there.
Yeah.
There's a little story of how that works out. So it just goes to prove the more the connection of the brother-sister growing up together and being able to do music together. I think it's all fantastic. And of course, we'll link up on our website too, so people can go to nice one hub of information for everything Juna and Joey. I know you guys are going to perform maybe a song or two for us. We
Yes.
really appreciate that. We'll go to a separate video for that, but you guys will be able to do a little singer-songwriter thing. Maybe tell us what the song is about, introduce it, and you guys will be able to do your thing. Appreciate you coming in and visiting us here, and
It's fun.
hopefully you enjoy yourself here in Chattanooga.
Yeah, thank you
Will
so
do.
much
Alright,
for having
thanks,
us.
guys.
Hits 90s.